Why am I trying to think this early in the morning? This is not part of the routine. Let's not think anymore. So I would usually wake up at around the range of 6:30 to around 7:10. Yeah, that was pretty accurate. Yeah, that's pretty much, yeah, okay. That is very factual. I used to sort of be this grandma who pretty much sleeps at 9 p.m. and then wakes up at around 5 to 6 a.m. But then it just doesn't work for me now, especially that I have school. As much as I would love to wake up at 5 a.m., my body, my brain, and my mind does not have enough will to let that come to pass. So now essentially I'm a crossbreed between a grandma and an 11-year-old boy. And I accept it. I accept it. That's pretty... I can't believe I just offended myself. So the first thing I do in the morning is actually make the bed. Honestly, my routine is quite chaotic. It's not very perfect and structured, but at least I have sort of steps. But they're always sort of in general, not very specific. So do take this video with a grain of salt because it's not always like this. So now we're gonna make the bed. Now that we're done making the bed, we are headed to the bathroom. So the moment I enter the bathroom, I would always pee. You know, I think it's part of life. You've drank water, and for 5 to 8 hours, you've been storing the water, and the moment you wake up, you just release it. But I already did pee before I filmed this because I woke up really early just so that I could film. Which is a great thing because now you don't have to watch me pee. But after I pee, I do brush my teeth. I used to hate brushing my teeth when I was young. Also, wow, I've never looked more like an egg my entire life. This is perhaps my redefining moment. I heard from a friend, Symphony. I've heard from her that in the morning or, you know, when we wake up, there's sort of toxins that are released whatsoever. I don't know if that's scientifically accurate. I potentially am a bearer of fake news. I'll never know. But ever since I heard that thing, I just couldn't unhear it. Also, I forgot to say, it's during this time of my routine that I always play French jazz. I will link the French jazz playlist and you have to listen to it. My favorite is the first song. Also, we use the bamboo toothbrush. This one is from Colgate, and honestly, it's really great. I don't know why I had to share that piece of information, but just a tip to make your bamboo or wooden toothbrushes last longer, don't cover them immediately after you brush your teeth. Just let it sit out. If it's still kind of wet and moist, I know people hate that word, but I don't understand why. Moist, but it's inconvenient, but it helps you save money. That was adulting advice there. I'm turning into an adult and I wasn't even trying. Just kidding, I was. And the last thing that I do in the bathroom is brush my hair because Rapunzel does it. Right now, we're gonna make coffee or essentially make any nice drink. It could be a matcha latte or some strawberry milk or some chai latte. But usually it's just coffee because it's the easiest to make. I always feel like when I make cooking videos, a lot of people are just uninterested, but at the same time I want to make them, but I just don't think they're that interesting. So I'm waiting for the validation. But we're gonna make coffee. Now the reason why I really like making a nice drink when it comes to the morning is because it feels really nice, genuinely. Looking at how beautiful it is, how simple making it is. Wow, my English just sort of, I just questioned my English right there. But it feels very therapeutic in a way, taking your time to just think of nothing and make something beautiful, if that makes sense. If you haven't tried making your own coffee, I swear you have to try it. Now, usually while I consume my caffeine, I would do my devotionals, which I also call my quiet time, which is a very weird thing because just imagine me being quiet for an hour. Yeah, it's okay, even I can't imagine. Essentially, I like this period of the day because it's the only time I actually get to shut up and stop talking about anything. I really think that including reading something in the morning as part of your routine really does a huge service to yourself and to your mind and to your emotions and to your soul in specific. It'll really affect you throughout the day. It'll affect the way you see things. But if you do not really associate with any religion, I would highly recommend reading something inspirational or just something that makes you feel good. It can be a random novel that's really funny, or it could be a John Maxwell kind of thing. I don't know who the motivational speakers are, but reading something really helps a lot. I used to hate reading. I mean, remember that girl? I hate reading,
but I hate reading.
I personally don't know her, but reading helps you a lot. So let's forget about that girl for forever, okay? Let's not remember her. Now, after I do my devotions, I actually do a little prayer or, you know, being in an attitude of gratitude. I'm rhyming. Now, I understand that the time and order in which I do my skincare and wash my face is quite unorthodox, but this is what worked for me. And essentially, it's after my devotions that my brain is waiting for the skincare. And then after I do my skincare, it's let's get down to business. I'm actually quite excited to do... Wait, I actually can't see anyone. Now, I'm actually quite excited to do my skincare today because I received a package about some new packaging from Lana, and I've always been a huge fan of Lana. I would always fangirl about Lana because I love them that much. So these are the new Lana packaging. They did change entirely the packaging of literally everything. And can I just say that this packaging is so amazing that my literal bathroom feels unworthy to hold such beautiful objects. So we have here the sunblock, and then we also have a repackaging for the argan oil, even the DNA repair elixir. We also have amazing repackaging for the gentle cleanser and also the brow thingy. Even the soap had a new repackaging, and it gets better because I have a specific discount code, and if you want to get 5% off on all of your purchase, even if it's not your first purchase ever, you can use this code forever as much as you can. So my skincare routine has actually changed quite a lot from the moment I first created my skincare routine video. It's actually now way more simple. I find that with my skin type, which is sensitive, very sensitive, and oily, I find that the less products I put, the less complicated my skincare routine is, the better my skin becomes and feels. Also, I'm using the Lana Soothe and Hydrate Gentle Cleanser because it's the only cleanser I can essentially use with my skin type. And the next thing that I put is this sort of COSRX oil-free ultra moisturizing lotion, which is the only moisturizer that I use because... And after I've moisturized, I move on to my sunblock or my sunscreen, which is, again, my ultimate favorite. They have this Skin Protect Brightening Sunblock, and what I really love about this is that it's SPF 80, which is rare. Not a lot of sunscreens or sunblocks are SPF 80, unless it's one of those swimming type of kid sunblock, but just essentially for the face, there is not quite a lot of them. That's why I really love this. Now I know that my skincare in the morning is very sort of 3 products and that's essentially it. Because that's really just what works for my skin. It might not be for you, but I do use way more products at night. They are all by Lana, so that's a foreshadowing to the night routine that I'm about to make. But that's it. Now, dear child, I know what you are thinking. When is she ever gonna eat? Well, here we are in this footage of you seeing food, and that pretty much already gives you the hint that we are about to eat breakfast. Now, there are days when I immediately feel hungry, but there are also days when my appetite is just not having it. So breakfast schedule isn't always defined in the mornings. However, you know, because we are doing a video, we shall include it in the average time. I did compute it using calculus. Just kidding, you don't actually need calculus for that, so I really don't know why I need my calculus classes. And finally, after 10,000 things on my morning routine list, we finally get to work and get down to business. I really want to sing, but I know I shouldn't. So usually when I get to work, that's also the time when I eat breakfast, but there are also times when I just sit in with my family and eat. It's really not that interesting. There is nothing new, nothing groundbreaking. Now, the first thing I always do is actually to check on my to-do list and to finally open my phone, because always before I sleep, I turn off my Wi-Fi so that the moment I wake up, I'm not bothered by all of these messages. It's just not very sustainable for my non-existent emotional health. And of course, nothing is complete without our daily dose of whatever allergies that I could never explain. And that's essentially how my usual mornings take place. It really does vary. It really depends on the workload, and it really depends on the day. There are days when I have to wake up earlier and get to work ASAP, but there are also days when I could just take my time and all of that jazz. So again, take this video with a grain of salt. This is not a very regular routine. The more I stick to my routine, the more I suffer existential angst. So I do try to interchange it. I don't like to be like a robot having to do the exact same things every day. I want there to be variances in my routine. Maybe it does work for you. If you also suffer from existential angst when you feel like a robot, then that's a little human advice from a fellow human. So thank you for watching this video, and again, there is a foreshadowing of a future video. So I love you all from the bottom of my hypothalamus. I'm not excited to go to school right now, but do we really have a choice? I mean, we do. Gap year.